I know it's Friday the 13th, but cast it from your mind, because here it's Friday Fun Day.
It is. And do you know what?
Yes.
Friday the 13th is very significant in my family because my son-in-law was born on Friday the 13th, and it's my daughter's lucky number, not particularly
Perfect.
mine. Yeah.
But I think that Sherry and Harriet don't believe in Friday the 13th, do you?
No.
No, not at all. I think it's a good day.
Yeah. Well, it should be a good day. I think because you believe bad things will happen, that bad things do happen.
Yes,
That's
I
right.
do.
Yes. So
The
we
bad things,
as Wonderbirds, we have decided that Friday the 13th is a good day.
We have.
We're liberated.
A very
We are.
good day.
We've liberated the day. Yes.
Yay!
And
Yeah.
even better, we have our wonderful Halina Watts, our very own gossip columnist, coming in today to tell us all of the latest updates from the world of celebrity.
Yeah.
Hi,
Yeah.
Halina.
Hello, darling.
Hello.
Hi, ladies. How
Yeah.
are you?
Lovely to see
Hi.
you.
Good to
What's
see
going
you.
on? Helena, so much is going on.
Oh
Where
my
do we
God.
start?
There's so much
Tell
going
us.
on, isn't there, in the world at the moment? But there's lots of stuff going on in show business as well.
Wow.
Tell us all.
So I will
Tell us.
tell you. So I know everyone really wants to have a good time at the moment, despite everything that's going on. And I'm a Celebrity is going to be on our TV screens on Sunday. But it's been quite a challenge so far because, you know, the whole pandemic is making it really hard for everyone. And this week, AJ Pritchard, who was formerly a Strictly Come Dancing dancer, is going into the show, but he was diagnosed with the virus, but he has since recovered and he is actually going in. So this is great news for him.
Right.
Because I do hear that out of all the contestants going in, he is the biggest fan of the show. He apparently loves it. He said he'd even paid to go in it.
Oh.
Yeah, so he's going to be joined by a great lineup, actually. There's Shane Ritchie, who's a massive star, Beverly Callard, Mo Farah, Victoria Derbyshire, Vernon Kay, Jessica Plummer, who's also in EastEnders, or was in EastEnders star, BBC radio DJ Jordan North, Para-Olympian Holly Arnold, and Giovanna Fletcher.
Wow.
Who,
A lineup.
Yes, it's quite a good
Fantastic.
one. What do you ladies think of that?
I think it's a
That's really
fantastic.
Love that.
Can't wait to see them all.
I just wonder, you know, because you think of all the things that they do in I'm a Celebrity. I mean, I just wonder how they're going to transfer all of those sort of weird things and make it very British now, won't it? It's
I
I think
tell
there's
you,
rats.
In Wales. Boyo.
Yeah, I can tell you, I know this castle. It is the most terrifying place. It's full of ghosts. You wouldn't go there in the daytime, let alone at night. So I think this will be one of the best celebrity, get me out of here, and one of the most frightening.
Ooh,
Because they'll be on their own in dungeons, in
Ooh.
crypts,
yeah.
and ghosts will be touching them up, if you'll pardon the expression. Oh, yes.
Can't wait.
I think
Oh,
it's
yeah.
going to be absolutely brilliant. I am going to miss
Amazing.
the sunshine, though. I did love tuning into I'm a Celebrity and it being blue skies, and
Yeah.
but
Oh,
I
no,
think
I prefer them. I prefer them to be in the dark and dingy, freezing, cold and wet.
You know, I
damp
wonder how
and-
long Anton Deck will want to go to Wales every year. You know what I mean?
Well,
True.
I think they will.
yeah.
But my prediction is Bev Callard. That's my prediction.
Oh,
Really?
It's exciting.
She'll win.
do you know Bev Callard?
Yeah. I know her very well, and she will do everything that's asked of her. She will be stoic. She will get out there. She'll fight for this because she's that kind of gal, and I think she will win. Wow, there you go.
Well,
I
Can't
like
wait.
Shane Ritchie.
Cannot wait.
Actually. I like Shane Ritchie because he's just a nice, affable sort of guy. I met him a couple of times, and I think he's got a good chance of winning. Don't
Well,
you?
what I like about this show is you get to know people you didn't know before.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
like with the younger contestants, and you really get to know that you know how respectful they are to the older people and the older ones' stories. So it's a very multi-generational show. That's why I like it.
And also, I wonder what food they're going to feed them because they can't do those sort of exotic animals, can they? They have to do
No.
something a bit different.
No.
Well, I heard
It'll
that
still be disgusting.
it will still be
It will.
disgusting, and I've heard that a lot of creepy crawlies is going to be cockroaches and crickets, and I do think
Standard.
Well, let's change. Can we change the subject and talk about something nicer?
Okay, well we can. So the next big reality show on TV is Strictly Come Dancing. It's been giving me a lot of joy. I'm not sure if you've been tuning in, but it's been really good. Yeah, and the Olympic boxer Nicola Adams is obviously the star of the show. She's formed the first same-sex couple, and now, unfortunately, she's not going to be in it anymore because her dance partner Katia Jones got diagnosed with the virus. I mean, she was asymptomatic, but it means Nicola is out. And she basically said, I am absolutely devastated. My Strictly journey has come to an end so soon. She really felt she had so much more to give. So
you know, Halina, Nicola and Katia have made their mark, and they have done what they needed to do, and we will never ever any of us forget this. So I applaud them. I'm sad that they've gone, but I applaud them for what they've done because it's been fantastic.
And I'm sure they'll have them back next year because of the cake. I'm sure they will.
That's a good point. I didn't think about that. Surely they might, because they were their big signing. So I can't imagine they won't be back. It's just such a shame.
But Halina, what I've heard about Motsi? What's happened to her?
So Motsi, she goes backwards and forwards to Germany because that's where her family live, and so she's in isolation for 2 weeks, which is terrible because I really like Motsi, but she's being replaced by Anton Dubek.
Lovely.
And I love Anton. He's just so cheeky. He's got such a good vibe about him, hasn't he?
He has.
Yeah,
he has.
I always thought he should be on that panel anyway, years ago. And I know he's looked at that panel and envied that panel. So I'm so thrilled that he's there. That's where he should be.
Yeah.
He's very qualified.
I'm sorry for Motsi. Sorry, but I love Anton.
Well, he really reminds me of Bruce Forsyth, actually. I always get that. Kind of
maybe don't say that, darling.
Okay.
No, he'd love it. No, Anton would love that.
Yeah, I think everybody loved Brucey, and I think especially Anton. I mean, he was such part of that show. It was very interesting when the two female presenters took over. It's the first time that's ever happened as well, and it was just so lovely how it's worked. It feels so normal, and it's lovely. You know, we've always been conditioned, I think, in our heads to always have, you know, the lead of a Saturday night show or whatever has always been a man.
No, absolutely. I think 2 women is, it's all about the women.
And so we don't have much time left, but Britney Spears?
Yes, I want to tell you one thing about Britney Spears, who I absolutely love. The last time she was in England, she performed in Brighton, and now she is saying that she will not perform again while her father has control over her career. She had a very public breakdown, as everyone can probably remember, when she shaved her head all those years ago, and she has had to have a lot of help, and he took over her career and he helped manage it, and since he's taken over she has made a lot of money, so she's done very well since he's been in control. But unfortunately she doesn't want to work with him anymore. She wants one of her female managers to take over the running of her estate. And she's actually said that she's scared of her father. So it's really.
But maybe he's worried about her, you know. And it's like he's got to let go, hasn't he? And I suppose she has as well.
Yeah.
So that's going to be a difficult transition, really.
Yeah.
And I think it's difficult. It's difficult in a theatrical world because I started on stage at 4, and my mother ran my life and ran everything about me, my career. Everything I wore, everything I said, my hair. But what I'm trying to say is that she had control of everything. Now, I rebelled when I got older, and it was disastrous. And she came back, but she was right, and he is right in what they want for you. But then you grow up and realize that you want other things. And that was my struggle, shall I say, with my family. So I understand exactly where she's coming from, and she's right to break free, which I should have done many years before.
I think what everyone's concerned about is her mental frailty,
mental health,
and that's the thing we don't really know about. But I think you're so right, Sherry. You're so right. Of course, you have to be your own person.
Maybe it's a good sign that she's doing that. Maybe she's actually taking control of herself now, and maybe that, you know, getting
have
over all
to.
the issues. Yeah.
Because it's not just her career, it's also her personal life. So she has to get permission from him if she wants to marry. She's not even allowed a mobile phone. So she just must feel so stifled. That can't help your mental health, can it?
I know. But I don't think he possibly means any harm, you know, which my mother didn't. But it's about control and thinking that they know better than you do. That's
Absolutely.
all. And she must break free now at 38.
Yeah.
At 38.
Thank you so much for all your
thank you for coming in. The Wonderbirds will be controlling your career for the next few years, and your life, and your hair.
Oh, thank you so much. Lovely to see you.
And you.
Bye. Bye. Bye.
It's so hard, isn't it, as mothers and parents? You just want your children to be happy. You just want everything to be all right for them, and the sense of controlling never goes away. It's very hard.
No. You always want to intervene.
I would not like to be in control of my children's lives, that's for sure.
I don't think they'd let you, darling.
Wow.
I know.
Listen, darlings, we have got the amazing Susie McKenna just about to fly into the nest. She is a writer, actress, director, producer, and married to wonderful West End Broadway film and television star Sharon D. Clarke. Hello, darling.
Hi.
Hello.
Welcome to our nest, darling. It's lovely to see you.
Thank you. Lovely to see you. Lovely to be here, ladies, with the Wonderbirds.
Oh,
yes.
Thank you. Thank you for coming.
Darling, we were just saying that you were married to Sharon, and I would love you to tell us about where you got married.
Well, we were the luckiest people in the world. We were able to get married on stage at the Hackney Empire.
Wow.
And I think we're pretty much the first and the only actually at the moment. But I think certainly it's still open for offers. But yeah, it was amazing. We actually were planning to get married in Sharon's back garden, and I happened to sort of chat about it to some of my colleagues at Hackney Empire, and they just turned around and went, "Absolutely not. You're doing it at Hackney Empire. You're not
Quite right.
So we all want to come." So it was the most incredible day of a tidal wave of love coming towards us.
And you've been together a long time.
Yeah, we've been together 20 years. Yeah.
Amazing.
Wow.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And you haven't stopped during this lockdown. You're still just as busy.
It has been just about. Yeah. I mean, we feel very blessed. I mean, both Sharon and I, you know, feel so blessed that we've managed to have a keep going a little bit. You know, there are so many of us out there that are just you know, not doing anything, not being able to work or working in other things, but really suffering out there. So
will you tell us about the artists who have got their websites?
Yeah, certainly. Well, I mean, in these times, all the wonderful creative people who work in the arts industry, that's whether that's backstage, on stage, technicians, have a lot of them have turned to other ways of being creative and have been making incredible things, painting, printing, all sorts, baking. And there's a website called notonthewestend.co.uk. And you can go on there, and if you want to support an artist, a person, a technician, designers, whatever, who are working in our industry, who are really struggling right now, not having any help, feeling very adrift, but are doing these wonderful, incredible work. So there's some great stuff on there for Christmas presents.
Oh, I can imagine. It must be so original and so lovely. I wanted to find out, a thing that interests me the most about you is because I'm an actress and a producer myself. What was your transition from being an actress when you started to how your career has gone? What happened?
I sort of did 3 transitions in a way, because I started as a dancer. I trained as a
dancer.
Did you? Yeah.
Wow.
Trained as a dancer, and then really sort of reinvented myself to desperately wanted to act, and started doing that, and was working in musical theatre and regional theatre and tours and things. And then actually what happened was I had absolutely no real ambition to direct. I really didn't, although I'd spent a lot of time being fascinated with the process and not really understanding that maybe I was a bit of a gobby actor, so maybe I should have gone to direct. that time. I'm sure there's plenty of directors that would have thought that. So actually, somebody asked me, literally somebody asked me to direct a pantomime at Hackney Empire, of all places, and I found myself saying yes without even thinking about it, putting the phone down and then going, oh my God, what have I done? And then, you know, that grew from there. But I think I was at my happiest when I was able to juggle performing and directing without I was really happy that time. That was really fulfilling. But that sort of changed once I took over as creative director at Hackney.
It's wonderful because you've had all those other experiences as an actor, as a dancer. Your way to direct, you have a way to understand how we all feel, which is a great gift.
Oh, I hope so. I hope so. We make it fun, don't we?
Yeah.
You know, that's it. You've got to play. You've got to be in the room and play. And I'm not very cerebral, I'm afraid.
Do you know, Susie, it's amazing we haven't met, because I used to hang out and see all the shows at Hackney Empire for years when you were there.
Well,
so
I know I've seen you there.
Yeah, exactly. I know we have seen each other. And the thing is, you've done everything. I mean, the pantos, the amazing shows you've written, directed, appeared in. I mean, it was just the best time for Hackney Empire, and they were, you know, it was brilliant. So tell me, what was the best moments for you? I mean, I know there were probably many, but what were your favourites?
My favourite moments at Hackney Empire will have to be meeting Sharon, of course, in Cinderella in 1999. And that was actually where we met and where we fell in love.
Fabulous.
So I've got to say that first. And then
Lovely.
we did a production of Mother Goose that was like a revival of the exact show that we did in 2008, and we did that in 2000, and we had exactly the same cast, and it was, to be honest, it was terribly self-indulgent. It was a whole load of the whole thing about the pantomime, it's family. We're all mates, and if you come and join the family, you're in the family. But this particular show was old family and coming together and getting the chance to be on stage again with Sharon and Clive was one of my favorite moments. And then the Windrush panto that we did last year, which was my final pantomime at Hackney. I was so proud to be able to thought that I could have moved the genre on enough to do something, you know, and I was scared. It was really scary, but it was so beautiful how it got received. So
and you're talented and brave, Susie. Absolutely fantastic.
There was a lot.
Susie, I want to talk to you about developing things for the future. I know you've got the Martin Luther King concert coming, and also your children's book. I write children's books, and I'm fascinated by your children's book, and it's about a theatre cat.
It is.
So tell us about that.
Well, do you know what? It's been a long time in the making, and it's been something that I've been tinkering with, and it's like it started as a guilty pleasure when I had little time, but when I needed to just go away and write things, it's by no means finished at the moment. But it was because of Hackney. I just always thought I always wanted a cat there, because and then I started thinking about it, and we were about to reopen the theatre at Hackney. And what happened was the contractors went bust, and we couldn't open, so we couldn't do pantos. So Steve Edis and I had to write a show in 2 weeks that we could put into the small 200-seater theatre. So I wrote A Christmas Carol with 4 actors and a theatre cat and a theatre mouse. And they were called Halina and Charlie, and that's how the book started, because people fell in love with these characters. So I thought it was a way of teaching kids about theatre. So you could have, you know, you follow a DSM. So each, like, they're little tiny books, and you can follow, you know, when Hackney Empire has opera, and when what does the DSM do in the corner. Maybe you go to a different, you know, so that the children understand how theatre works. You know, that's why the crew to take a bow at the end of the panto, because kids see, you know, they should see how many people it takes to make
Do
something.
you
Of
ever remember going
course.
backstage for
Amazing.
the first time? I really remember going
Fabulous.
backstage, and that the excitement of going backstage as a child, it's just
Oh,
extraordinary.
it
And I
is
remember, you know, the
wonderful.
theatre, you know, the steps
Yeah.
going up to the dressing rooms in some theatres
Yeah.
have got like sprinkles on them. It looks like stardust, doesn't it?
Can I just ask you, Susie? Also, talking about in development, what is the future? What do you want now? What would you love to do?
Oh, what would I love to do? I'd really love to direct a West End show. I would love to do that.
Right?
I've done lots of shows in London, but just to have the challenge of doing that, or having a show go into town, fingers crossed. I'd really like to. I would really be interested in just try and hand it a film or something. While during lockdown, I've been looking at film school and thinking, yeah, maybe. I think like many of us, you sort of reevaluate where you're going. But at the moment, I've still got another year or so left at Kiln, and that's been an amazing transition because working there has been incredible.
what's happening at Kiln now?
Fabulous.
Well, we've been in development, you know, like everybody else. Kiln had to really knuckle down, and but the Daisy Heath, the chief, the exec director, and India Robussingham have been absolutely incredible at keeping us all together and keeping us going. So we've got lots of exciting scripts that we've been working on during lockdown that are actually. It will happen. They will happen, and they will come up eventually. You know, we will be.
It will happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, it will.
We all have to
Definitely
keep
will
that
happen for
here,
you.
don't we?
If I could say, the show must go on.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
I've got my freelancers make theatre work badge. I don't know if you can.
There you go.
Oh yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
Well done, Susie.
There's merchandise on that website as well, which is pretty.
Well, yeah,
amazing.
I'm going the minute this show finishes, I'm off and on it.
Me too.
We'll put it on our Wonderbirds information page.
Bless you.
Yeah, we'll do that now.
Thank you, Susie. It's been
Thank you
lovely
so
to meet
much.
you.
It's been an absolute pleasure, and I think you're all wonderful and looking fabulous women.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you,
You
darling.
too.
Thank you,
Lots of
darling.
love.
Bye, Susie.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye,
Bye.
darling.
What an inspiration. To be
She's
thinking again
amazing.
about now being a film director. I mean, how
Yes.
fantastic is that?
And you know what? You know she's going to do it, don't you?
Absolutely.
Yeah, beyond any doubt. Yeah.
Do you remember your first pantos, guys?
Yeah, I
I
do.
do.
I went to see. Do you remember Tommy Trinder, Sherry?
Yes. Oh,
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
yes.
because I thought Sherry might remember. Because I mean, I don't know if he was that was the first panto I ever saw. Tommy Trinder at the Sunderland Empire, and I went on stage because they said put a little girl from the audience, and I was always up there. And he gave me I won a goldfish called Oswald, and I had him for years until my grandma put him down the plug hole, which was very sad.
Oh.
No.
And I do remember going backstage. I mean, my whole life, because my parents were in the industry, was backstage. But I remember going backstage as a child, thinking it was the most magical place. I don't think I ever went through the front of house in the theatre till I was about 16.
No.
I used to always go through the back.
There's
have
the
to
actress
say-
to the bishop. Anyway,
Yeah.
there we go.
Staring head to you with the left hand. Yeah.
Ready.
I actually remember. My first panto, which was in a TIE, Theatre and Education tour, and it was a Christmas Carol, and I played the Ghost of Christmas Present, and I had to wear a long white, like a kaftan robe, and I walked on, and all these boys started wolf whistling at me, and I completely dried, forgot all my lines.
Darling, nothing's changed. Nothing's changed.
Ah,
I remember
Nothing's
seeing
changed.
Danny LaRue and I had no idea it was a man. I thought it was the most glamorous woman I'd ever seen. So there we are. Nothing's changed there either.
No.
well, I was about 4 in my first pantomime, and I had to do a little tap routine, but I hadn't gone to the toilet, and I weed all over the stage. And I got a round of
as you said,
applause, and everybody
things
thought it
haven't
was hysterically funny.
Darling, I think
No.
it's a wonderful trick. Never lose it. So listen, girls, on Monday, we have the amazing actress, Samantha Rennick, who will inspire us even more.
Have a great weekend.
Bye, darlings.
Bye.
Bye.